Hey guys, we are back and we are filming away. So cheers.
Cheers.
I think Mark might be a little.
Wait a second. He's been sipping a little.
Probably being a host.
I've had enough.
I'll get that corrected. But I think actually what I wanted to talk about now, guys, is the fear. The fear that consumes a lot of our followers into even beginning the process for buying their new home.
Yeah.
I think that we have, obviously Mark here, he's kind of an expert.
Which Mark?
You are
I'm
kind
the
of
expert in real estate.
Yeah. No, but after a couple of drinks, I don't know how with their But no, I think this is actually the topic to kind of go into, why people really shouldn't be fearful of starting the process. I mean, we give a lot of useful information. We put stuff out there to really make it informative to take away that fear.
Yeah.
But we know that there's still a lot of people that that follow us and watch us, and whether it's your own situation and you've sort of self-diagnosed your own finances, so that kind of creates a fear. We just want to, I think, have a conversation with the followers and let them know why they should alleviate that fear and what we can provide to help them do that.
Yeah, and just for everybody out there, we're not only business people, real estate agents, lenders, but we're family men. We have our homeowners ourselves, and we understand that fear, and that's why we created Great Homes ATL for people like you, because you probably have, how about in life, right? There are coworkers, family members, what you should do, right? What you shouldn't do, where you should buy. You can't afford it, how much money you have to make. Let's just talk a little bit about maybe that renter out there that, maybe has a 550 credit score, but makes, $50,000, $60,000 a year, very comfortable way of life. What would you say to that person, why they should pick up the phone at least to have that conversation? I look at it like this. If you weren't feeling well, right, you would go to a doctor, right, to get diagnosed of what you need to do to feel better, if it's a medication or anything like that. So we're in the real estate industry. So if you're interested in buying a home, and of course not everybody is sitting on $150,000, $400,000, you're going to need this guy, the lender, to help you with that. So talk a little bit about personalize it. Let us know why that person that's on the sidelines, why they should get into real estate.
Well, if you've got a high score and you know it, the timeline's not as important. I mean, we talked a few months before, but if you think you've got some issues on your report, it's much better sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because if we pull your report, we can give you good advice on what to do to get the score up. You don't want to be faced with that a month before you're buying the house. Mm-hmm. And it's a free service. There's a lot of great mortgage professionals in this town, but unfortunately there's a lot of folks that'll just see you as a number. Mm-hmm. And once they figure out that your score is too low, that's the end of the conversation.
Right.
You're not going to get that with me. If you can't qualify now, and it's early enough, we're going to come up with a plan, whether it be 2 months or 6 months or a year, to get you to where you can buy.
I like that.
But I think if you know that there may be some issues, we should talk sooner so we can correct those issues so you'll be ready when you get ready to buy.
And something you said, it actually kind of brought back a memory. So when we were, Mark and I were going through our home buying process, like many of our followers, we had troubled credit. We had issues with, we made poor financial decisions. I admit to that. You guys know we're very honest and transparent with you all. So, but we were working with a lender, we won't say any names, and they ran a credit, and we still qualified for a mortgage, but we were kind of on that cusp of like, if we blinked wrong, we were not going to qualify. Right. And actually that lender ran our score and we never heard from him again.
Yeah, I remember that.
So when you mentioned that, sometimes if a lender doesn't feel like they really, I guess, can do business with you
right
or
away.
make something off of you, they would rather not even be bothered with you. So I think it is very important to making sure that you get in contact with the right team, the right lender, the right agent. You don't want to have this experience be about you just being a number or just the next dollar that's going in someone's wallet. You want to make sure that you're working with an agent, a lender, whether that's us or that's someone else. But you want to make sure you're working with somebody who really not only just wants the deal, but they want to make sure that you get what you want out of the deal.
Yeah.
I think that is important because sometimes people, when you don't have the money or the credit, they dismiss you because it's not an easy transaction for them. So,
well, it's our job, and it's actually against the law to give people disparate treatment, but it goes on.
It does.
You know, people that figure out that you're not going to be a closing soon and don't call you back, they're not doing the job.
Yeah.
I mean, our job is to help people get into homes. It's also to tell people that aren't ready that they probably shouldn't do it.
And there's no shame. Like if you get turned down, so to speak, you know, the first time, this is all life lessons, right? It's all about, this is how we believe, you know, here in America is that, you know, you get knocked down, you get back up, right? So we all come through situations in our life where, you know, the worst thing you can do is my lease is up in 30 days and you haven't had that conversation with the lender. There's things we've talked about in other videos, down payment, closing costs, interest rates. This is what we've been talking about even off camera, is that in our education system, right guys? Like they don't teach us. They teach us algebra and geometry and all these things that might be, you know, useful for some people or scientists, mathematicians and stuff like that. But everyday
paying your bills,
everyday capitalistic society, like homeownership is about laying down roots. It's about an investment. It's about generational wealth, right? And that shouldn't, like, it should be a priority in your life. It shouldn't be something that you're scared of.
Afraid to approach and afraid to dive into, because there are more people out there that don't think they're qualified that truly are. Because they have they've allowed the fear of, oh, I already know I have bad credit, so I'm not going to bother. And you're basically just sort of prolonging like what could be what the greatness that's out there for you, I think.
Yeah.
Right, and I mean, anyone that's talking to you that's condescending is not the right person to be with. I mean, there are many people with challenged credit.
Yep.
You know, and the sooner you know it and how to fix it is your best tool.
Yep.
But if you speak with a loan person and they're trying to get you off the phone, that's probably the right person to be dealing with.
Exactly. So, I mean, overall, let's talk about, you know, just fear in general, guys. So, you know, you're a renter. You make pretty decent income, but you've had some hiccups. Wouldn't you still encourage that person to make that call to, you know, find out exactly where you're at? Because our saying is always, you have to know where you are to know where you're going.
Absolutely. And, you know, it starts with a pre-approval.
Yeah.
And if you're unable to buy at this point, there's not some denial letter.
You're never going to get a house.
It's not going to go on your record. It doesn't matter.
That's a good point.
We're going to tell you what you need to do in maybe 6 months. So don't be afraid to do a pre-approval. It's not going to go on your record if you can't get a loan.
Yep.
It's not going to matter. All we're going to do is say, hey, let's pay this down, that off, let's add this. 6 months from now, you'll be fine.
And I think many of our leads that have turned into clients, Mark, that you close deals for, they worked with you early on. They made the call. They figured out where they were. And in some cases, hey, we don't paint the perfect picture. In some cases, when you call, you won't qualify for a mortgage at that point when you call.
It happens all the time.
But what have we done?
Many people that initially they can't buy, and 6 months later they buy a house.
Right, because you put them on a plan and say, okay, if you do this, this will get you to where you want to be.
Right.
And for those that are
now, it's up to you to act upon it.
Yeah, and for those that are disciplined and really want that house,
Yeah.
and they're not going to be deterred because they didn't qualify at that moment, they follow through, and we've closed a number of deals with Mark.
Many.
Just by putting you on a path
Yeah.
and giving you some clear direction as to what you need to do to getting to that point of qualification.
Mm-hmm.
If you do your part, we do our part, and like I said, we've gotten a number of folks under those.
Sure.
So
yeah, I remember. Hey, Joy, if you're watching, remember Joy who called us, I believe, in April, the year prior to when we actually closed on the home for her. And this is just a real life scenario, and we sent her to Mark. And at the time, she thought she wanted a single family house, renovated house. She was making, steady income. Her credit was pretty decent. But, after speaking with us and Mark, she said, no matter what, right, I'm going to work with you guys, but I'm just not there yet. Right. What happened She took all Mark's advice, she took my advice, she took Curt's advice, and 6 months later she called us up. We went to look at new homes, and we came across a townhouse community that was brand new. And if she had a rush back early on, she could have got qualified, Mark could have qualified her, but what ended up happening is she was able to build a brand new townhouse as her first house, which she's thrilled about. And guess what? In that scenario, there were preferred lenders, which usually happen on new home sites. But because she was the type of person that appreciated how much Mark really gave her the advice, she pretty much, I think, left about $2,500 on the table from the builder, because this guy talked to her for quite a while, multiple days, putting her mind at ease, and gave up that $2,500 just because of his customer service. And at the end of the day, she didn't have to settle for a house in an area she didn't want. She was able to build a brand new townhome and use the lender that she felt comfortable with. So part of not having that fear is working with people that you trust,
that you're not fearful of. I mean, you know, it's kind of hard to say don't be fearful, but yet you don't trust the people that are handling your transaction.
Yeah.
And we very tongue-in-cheek, we joke about we're one of the best. But I think when it comes to customer service, I think when it comes to the deals that we've closed and the clients that we've closed for, you can fact check.
Absolutely.
We don't treat any of our clients like they are just the next client. We treat you all like members of our family.
Yep.
That has been our mantra. Welcome to the family, Great Homes ATL.
Yep.
We have a team of, references, Mark being one of our top from a lending perspective. And we really do try to fit in this sort of family dynamic and feel to help you sort of break down those walls that you have up because you don't trust or you feel like this person is just trying to take your money.
Yeah.
We try to alleviate all of that from the process because there's enough headache with trying to buy a house, when you say guys.
Yeah.
But to have people working with you and not against you, I think that makes the process that much easier and smoother.
Yep. And success to me equals preparation. And preparation is, working with the right people, getting the right advice, giving yourself enough time to make that decision. And overall, we know that when you have a choice, for most people, 9 out of 10, I would say 10 out of 10, is that it's always good to own in life in general, right? Leasing, you don't get the tax benefits.
Who wants to borrow something?
Right. Who wants to borrow? You want to be a homeowner. You want to get
somebody else's mortgage.
Right. And setting up generational wealth, setting up a legacy for your children. All that incorporates. So our overall lesson is, fear is eliminated through preparation and working with the right people, educating yourself. And hopefully that's what you get in a lot of these videos and why you guys are making the call. So just to summarize this, guys, for the process, you reach out to us, you've been following us, you'll send us a DM, call us, email. We're going to send an introductory email to Mark. Here's your guy. And he's going to find out when a good time is to reach you. He's going to take your pre-approval through that process, asking your income, debt, credit, and then just analyzing. Just talk a little bit about and finality here of putting the overall message, putting people's mind at ease through that process.
Contrary to popular belief, we're not bankers that work 9 to 4.
Right.
If you can call during the day, great, but. There's some folks that can't talk, we'll talk after hours or on the weekend. So don't be afraid because you can't break away during the day.
He only yells at us when we call him in.
Right. But here you go. We have a team here, and we thank you guys for tuning in. We hope we break down that fear through going through Great Homes ATL and Fidelity with Mark. And it's been a great conversation, guys. And
we hope you've enjoyed it. And if there's any other comments, questions, feedback, put them in the comments below. Also, if you guys have drink recommendations, put those in the comments below as well. As you know, I
rate this very high.
I did the Great Homes ATL Mojito from, I wrote it down on my list, but I'll tag you in it. We do take your suggestions and comments, so please put them in. And stay tuned for the next episode.
Thanks, guys. Keep tuning in.